Hello, speaking to you today as the Chief Medical Officer at East Alabama Medical Center for the last 4.5 years, and I've been a practicing OB/GYN here in the Auburn-Opelika community for 34.5 years. As you know, we're going through another surge. The Delta variant is lots more contagious than the previous strains of the virus, and we're having a real problem in our local community. We have extremely high positive test rate, and I liken the vaccinations and this COVID is as basically a fire, and a fire, if it doesn't have any more fuel, will burn out. And right now the unvaccinated people are the fuel for this fire and what keeps this thing going. So I encourage you to get vaccination. I've done an extensive amount of reading over the last year, of talking and hearing blogs and various internet sources that talk about the vaccine. And it's really interesting hearing some of these because it's doctors talking to other doctors, and there's no political overlay in this. They're just talking about the science. The thing that strikes me is this vaccine has been scrutinized more than any vaccine that's ever been brought into production. And the things that have happened is it exceeded the safety that was expected, and it exceeded the efficaciousness of it. And when we talk about the ability of the vaccine to protect you, against the original strain, it was 95% effective at keeping you from getting the virus, and it was 99+% at keeping you from getting severely ill, hospitalized, or dying. Now with the Delta variant, it's probably 75 to 85% effective at keeping you from getting the virus. But it still is over 99% effective of keeping you from getting severely ill or being hospitalized or dying from the virus. The Alabama experience has been that since January 19th, when the first Alabamians were fully vaccinated. Only 1% of the people that have died from COVID have been vaccinated. So it is extremely effective at preventing serious illness and death. And that's the important measure. So, a lot of folks have complained that it hasn't been studied enough. We're nearing 400 million doses in the United States, and there hasn't been any surprise, despite some of the stuff circulating on the internet. One thing as an OB/GYN I can speak to is there's been no credible evidence that this has any effect on fertility. There's just the messenger RNA virus is there, induces the immune response, and then it's gone. So the effect on your fertility is non-existent. I think having COVID has way greater chance of affecting your fertility than getting the vaccine. Other worries, myocarditis in young males. That has been shown, but in all the cases it was usually short-lived and didn't require hospitalization or ongoing medical treatment. And the fact is, if you get COVID, you've got a 10 to 100-fold greater risk of having myocarditis from the infection. So just trying to put the risk in perspective. A lot of people that are worried about the vaccine will then go and drive 80, 85 miles an hour on the interstate. That doesn't make any sense. That's far greater likely to cause you health consequences than getting the vaccine. If we get to the point where we've got very few unvaccinated people in the hospital, then the COVID within our walls will severely decrease. If you're vaccinated and you get exposed, you don't have to quarantine unless you start to have symptoms. So I encourage you. I have been vaccinated myself. All my children have been vaccinated. and their spouses. So I strongly believe in it, and I think that's the quickest path to getting back to a little more normal existence.